Hiya guys, welcome back to Wentworth Life, the YouTube channel that talks everything Wentworth. Before we continue, I am going to be reviewing episode 2 of the latest season, so if you haven't seen the episode yet, stop watching this video, go and watch the episode and come back. And if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, hit that button right now. If you stick around to the end of this video, I am going to be responding to some of your comments from last week's review video. Okay guys, wow, what an episode. They should have called this episode Boom, shouldn't they? So let's start at the beginning then. So poor Rita, Ray has been gunned down and she's not in a very good place right now, and she started seeing some weird bird crow things, which is a bit confusing to start off with, but it will make sense as the episode continues. Vera announces to all the officers that she is stepping back as governor duties and Will is going to be taken over. Straight away, Miss Miles wants to know who's going to be the acting deputy, and Will tells everybody that all his senior officers should apply. Back in the dining room, Rita is looking worse for wear and Mari is coming up to her and just saying, "Sorry for your loss." What a bitch. Luckily for Rita, Kaz is on her side and all the women are looking after Rita, which I think is really nice. There's a really funny scene in the dining room where Liz is doing her bucket list, and one of the things on her list is learning how to tango. And then Boomer turns around and says, "I can teach you the bum dance," which is absolutely hilarious. What I'm loving about this season so far is that they seem to have a brilliant balance of comedy and drama. They've got it spot on this season. Will calls Kaz to the governor's office and basically tells her that he wants to team back up with her to try and stamp out the drug problem. He even apologizes to her when she turns around and says, "You haven't spoken to me for 3 months," which I find is very harsh. I mean, just because they've called off their arrangement doesn't mean that he has to be a prick to her, really, does he? Anyway, they seem to be getting back onto a nice even level, him and Kaz. How long that's gonna last, I have no idea. So Kaz goes straight to Costa and basically threatens her and tells her to stop bringing in ice, otherwise she's going to end up flying like Sonia, which was a great line. It finally dawns on Rita that it was Mari who killed Ray. Ruby's like, "How do you know that it was Mari?" And Rita's like, "I fucking know." Because in the later scene, Rita gets Miss Miles to review the CCTV footage, and Miss Miles is just like, "It wasn't pretty. He took 2 bullets to the chest with a shotgun." And one of the people on the bike was wearing a butcher's jacket, which I'm trying to figure out. I think they work for Mari in some shape or form. So the penny finally drops for Rita and she confronts Mari in the yard. Basically tells her, "You killed Ray, you are responsible." But Mari, being the bitch that she is, she tries to turn it around and says, "No, you did this, Rita. You put him in the mix and you're responsible for his death." So Rita absolutely loses it and throws Mari up against the fence and practically throttles her, like she's literally going to kill her. She even throws Allie up against the wall, which I thought was quite a brilliant moment. Rita is dragged off to the governor's office. Will basically tells her that, "You've bashed one prisoner to death and now you're threatening another. Why shouldn't I just put you in the slots?" But, Rita basically begs Will, "Please don't slot me. Don't keep me away from my sister." So Will, being the nice guy that he is, he seems to give her a second chance. Right, onto the birds. So Rita's seeing flashbacks of birds, something to do with Ray's spirit not being able to move on, but what's actually happening is that dead birds are all over the prison and it's part of Costa's plan on getting drugs in, which is absolutely gross, but it's also genius at the same time. So basically, she's getting somebody on the outside to fly a drone over with dead birds, dropping the dead birds in the yard, and the birds have got drugs inside them. Ugh. Kaz spots this, however, and Kaz's crew confront Costa in the cells, and Kaz wants to know, "Why did you sell it to Kylie last week?" And Costa's like, "I never sold any to Kylie." but she sold it to Mari. So the penny finally drops to Kaz that Mari got Kylie to attack her. So Mari goes to Rita and basically says that Mari tried to kill her through Kylie and that they should team up to take Mari out. At this stage, Rita doesn't want to get involved because Rita has a visit from one of her gang members, and Rita basically tells them that it was the butchers who killed Ray and she wants them to deal with them. But later on, the gang member comes back in to visit Rita and basically says it wasn't the butchers, it was somebody taking revenge on Drago. So once again, the penny actually does drop this time, and Rita realises it was 100% Mari, goes back to Kaz and basically says, we're going to fucking kill her. So there's a great scene in Kaz's cell where they're discussing how they're going to kill her. Kaz is like, oh, we can shiv her, and Rita's like, well, can't we just poison her? And Kaz is like, no, I've tried that before, and it just doesn't work because she doesn't inject, it's too hard. And then Rita turns around and says, we'll do a Conqueror's special, which is basically blow the bitch up. So Rita and Kaz go to the kitchen and they steal, chemicals and ingredients to create some sort of pipe bomb. And while they're making it in the cell, they get Liz to get some, I can't even remember what it was a compost or something from the garden to help with the bomb. They are nearly sprung by Vera when Vera comes looking for Liz to go and visit Dr. Greg Miller. Luckily though, for Rita and Kaz, they are safe. Liz goes to see Dr. Miller, but she ends up having a bit of an episode, and she thinks that Dr. Miller is Don Kaplan, and she has a little bit of a meltdown, which was quite hard to watch, but Vera managed to calm her down. Allie knows that Kaz and Rita are up to something and thinks that they're both out to poison Mari again, so she leans on Ruby to try and get help to stop Rita and Kaz from doing anything. Ruby goes hunting and she finds the pipe bomb under Rita's bed and basically begs Rita not to do this. You're going to be stuck in prison for forever, and she doesn't want to lose her sister. So Rita goes to Kaz and basically says that she's out, she can't do this, she can't leave Ruby, and Kaz basically says that, I can't do this on my own, and Rita says, don't do it, it's not worth it. In a nicer scene, Boomer discovers that Jake knows how to tango, and she gets Jake to do the tango dance with Liz, which is actually a really nice scene. It actually brought a small tear to my eye. Mari is trying to score drugs off Costa, but unfortunately, Kaz has told Costa not to sell Mari any gear. Mari asks Allie to get one of her mates to bring some in through Allie, which Allie is like, I can't believe you're asking me to do this, knowing my history with heroin. So Mari is basically like, okay, sorry, I shouldn't have asked you, but Allie, being the silly little girl that she is, she's like, okay, I'll do it just this once. Allie goes to the visiting room, gets the drugs, and then she has a bit of a moment with Ruby and says, you still have feelings for me, but Ruby's like, you're with Mari. And Ruby basically just tells Allie straight that you just want to be with somebody. If it's not with me, then it's with Mari, and if it's not with Mari, it's with somebody else. And I think something just clicks in Allie's head, basically, that she is weak because she does just jump from somebody to somebody. So Allie ends up going to the kitchen and is about to take the heroin herself. But Kaz catches her, and Kaz absolutely goes nuts with her, and it's actually a really, really great scene between Allie and Kaz. The acting was really good, and it was really dramatic. Allie basically turns around to Kaz and is like, you slapped me in the face, you did this to me, which is typical of Allie, blaming other people and taking no responsibility. But what Allie needs to remember is that she did betray Kaz, and that proves fatal for Kaz. Mari is out for revenge now. The only thing that really annoys me about this as well is that even though Kaz told Allie that she tried to poison Mari, she didn't tell Allie the reasons why. Mari was trying to kill Liz, basically, and that's what's annoying me. Allie seems to be sticking up for Mari and painting Kaz out to be this villain at the moment, yet Mari tried to kill Liz in the last season by getting Liz to do a suicide attempt. So yeah, that's really annoying me at the moment. But anyway, Kaz literally loses her shit and she goes and gets the pipe bomb from under her bed, goes over to Mari's cell, lights the fuse, chucks it in, closes the door and locks her in with a doorstop, and literally Mari's like screaming at Kaz through the window, saying, I'm gonna kill you, you're gonna die. And literally Mari turns around and the thing is about to explode. Kaz walks away from the door and boom! Literally, the cell explodes. Kaz blows the bitch up. I don't think she's dead, guys. Just a bit of a spoiler alert here for next week's episode. In the trailers for this season, there are scenes that haven't aired yet. For example, Mari and Will are in the governor's office getting it on. Kaz sees Mari and Will kissing in the hospital wing. So yeah, Mari's definitely going to survive. A few other things from this episode. Miss Miles ends up getting the deputy governorship. Jake is playing the green-eyed monster in this episode. He seems to be jealous of Greg Miller and Vera's friendship. Uma was absolutely hilarious. She is totally in love with Greg Miller and basically ends up putting full makeup on for her visits with him. And yeah, I just think it was a brilliant episode because, like I said, they've got the mix of the comedy and the drama just spot on. And it is genuinely, and not only that, the sad moments as well. I think this episode had it all. It had sad moments, it had touching moments, and it also had bloody iconic moments. That ending scene with Kaz walking away from Mari's cell with the explosion was absolutely phenomenal. Honest to God, guys, I had shivers watching it, and it was absolutely amazing. So for this episode, I am going to rate it a 9 out of 10. It had absolutely everything. However, a lot of stuff that happened in this episode we knew was coming either through magazine articles or trailers that was posted over a month ago. So that's the only reason why it just misses out on a 10 out of 10. There is definitely going to be bigger and better episodes, so for me, this was definitely a 9 out of 10. I'm also trying to work out how pregnant Vera is, because at the start of season 6, we found out she was pregnant, and then I think a couple of episodes in, I think it was episode 5 maybe, or episode 6, when Vera takes the abortion pill. But we discover at the end of season 6 then that she threw it straight up because she couldn't punish the baby for Jake's actions. And then after the end of season 6 and season 7 has begun, it's 3 months later. So I'm trying to work out how pregnant she is. Is she 6, maybe 7 months? I'd say she's about 6-7 months maybe. Which means that she could be pregnant for the whole entire season. She could actually be pregnant by the season final. Also, guys, I've already watched this week's episode 3 times. I tend to watch the episode, on a Tuesday afternoon when I finish work. I'll probably sit down and watch it at 3 o'clock. I'll watch it again usually the same day in the night time, and then I usually watch it again on the weekends. But I actually watched it again today because it was such a fantastic episode. And here are some reviews from last week's episodes that I am going to respond to. So this is from Demon Knight. Can't wait to see who finds Drago's Ruby is the killer note in Liz's box. I have to agree that is definitely going to resurface at some point and all hell is going to break loose. John Jackson, Vera always gets the short end of the stick. I have to agree, she really, really does. She's been held hostage twice, to my knowledge. She also fell in that vinegar stuff, which gave her the nickname Vinegar Tits. And she had a bad boy Jake, made a laughingstock out of her. She really, really does. Poor Vera, she needs some happy times in her life. Laurie Wright, amazing review, thanks so much. Looking forward to seeing this in the UK. Any ideas when it will be showing here? Yes, it starts on 5-star this coming Saturday. No Limits, the first episode was amazing. I have to agree, it really was one of the better opening episodes that we've had in recent years. Josh Sims. Do we ever hear anything more about Ferguson? I don't know at this stage, but however, in episode 1, didn't it pop up on Viva's laptop that Channing's trial was the date was set? So maybe they all have to go to trial and maybe things will resurface or things will be put to bed. And John Jackson, once again, thank you for your comment. Hey mate, you got to do this for every episode. Don't worry guys, I will be reviewing every single episode each week. Time isn't always on my side on a Tuesday, so 9 times out of 10 the review videos will be posted on a Wednesday, the day after the episode has aired. I would rather produce a good review episode rather than rush one on a Tuesday when I haven't got much time. But thank you all for your lovely comments. So there you have it guys. We are now 2 episodes in. What was your favourite thing about this week's episode? Let me know in the comments box below. I will be reviewing comments in next week's episode, so get commenting guys. Thank you for watching and I will see you soon.